person is so thirsty, and you've seen that, I've seen that with my own eyes, and we've all probably heard that when a person is about to die, his mouth starts drying up. His throat, everything starts drying up. That is why people start giving water, even with a spoon, so that his mouth and his throat don't dry up. They give him water. And it says that when a person is about to die, if he feels so much thirsty, that if you were to give him the 7 seas of this world, he will still not quench his thirst. Imagine at that time the shaitan is going to have the glass of water in his hand. And we can't. All the relatives who are sat there, they won't be able to see him. But because you are now about to depart from this world, you are going to see the shaitan. The shaitan will be there in front of you. And then he will say, here, do you want this glass of water? And a person, what does he want at that time? He will say, yeah. And what if a person says, yes, I want that glass of water. And he says, right, if you want this glass of water, I am the only one who's going to help you. Deny the oneness of Allah and I'll give you this glass of water. Allah Ta'ala forbid, my dear Islam brothers. Astaghfirullah al-Azim. What are we going to do at that time? Gar tere pyare ka jalwa na raha peshe nazar. Gar tere pyare ka jalwa na raha peshe nazar. Sakhtiyan naz'a ki kyun kar main sahunga ya Rab. Oh Allah, if we do not see the blessed face of the Prophet ﷺ, if at the time of our death, at the time of Sakarat of Allah, we do not see the blessed face, the glooming face of the Prophet ﷺ, how are we going to feel the pains of death? How are we going to get away from the pains of death? Naz'at ke bad, mujhe jalwa-e mahboob dikha. Allah, naz'at ke bad, mujhe jalwa-e mahboob dikha de. Tera kya jayega? Shad marunga ya Rab. My dear Islamic brothers, Sayyidina Wahab bin Munabbih rahmatullahi ta'ala, he says, we have known that when a person is about to die, he sees the angels that write his good deeds, the angels who are sitting on our shoulders, who are writing the good and the bad deeds. A person, he sees these angels. And if that person did good actions, the angels say, may Allah give you a better reward. You used to take us in a good gathering and we have many good deeds written for you. And if the person committed sins, the angels will say, may Allah not reward you from us because you used to take us in bad gatherings and made us hear bad words. Then his eyes drown and he never returns back to the world again. The angels, imagine at that time. That is why the Prophet ﷺ, he says that when a person is about to die, he is going to see where his destination is. He sees in front of him. If he sees that the angels are making dua for him, he sees that the angels have come to take his soul away, and they are in beautiful smelling clothes, then that person can realize that I am passed. I've passed my exam. And then on the other world, what do the shaitan, the angels say? The angels say, may Allah not reward you from us because you used to take us in bad gatherings. You used to take us to the my own words. Think what the angels would say. You are the one who used to take us to the nightclub. You are the one who used to take us and dance all night. You are the one who used to take us to the pubs and clubs. We're not going to make dua for you. We're not going to reward. May Allah Ta'ala not reward you. Let me just mention what happens at the time of death. How the soul is taken out of the body, and then what happens to the soul. Hazrat Sayyidina Bari bin Azib radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, he narrates, we were with the beloved Prophet of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to offer the funeral of an Ansari companion. Ansari are those companions who lived in Madinah al-Munawwara at the time when the Prophet ﷺ migrated from Makkah to Mukarram. Those companions who already lived in Medina Sharif, they were called the Ansar, which means the helpers. And he says that we were there to perform the funeral of an Ansari companion. After the funeral, the beloved Prophet ﷺ, he sat near the grave. He ﷺ was holding a stick in his hand, with which he was writing on the sand. He ﷺ then lifted his head and said, ask protection from Allah Azza wa Jal regarding the trials and the punishments of the grave. He sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said this 2 or 3 times. And then he said, no doubt that when a believer is about to leave this world, he can see the angels, he can see the angel of death, Malakul Maut alayhi salatu wasalam. And Malakul Maut alayhi salatu wasalam, he has that shroud. This is about a person who is a very good person, a person who acted upon the commands of Allah, who acted upon the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When that person is about to die, the angel of death, he says, he comes with 70,000 angels. And the person who is about to die, he can see all of them angels in front of him. And these angels will be holding a shroud, a kafan, which will be smelling so sweet. And the angel of death, he will come forward and he will stand near the head of that person. And he will say, come out, O satisfied soul. Ya ayyatuha an-nafsul mutma'inna, irji'i ila rabbiki radiyatan mardiyya. O satisfied soul, come out with the pleasure of Allah Azza wa Jalla. And the angel of death, he doesn't do anything. The soul, it comes out from the body. And the other angels, they wrap the soul in that beautiful smelling kafan, that shroud. And then they take it to the first heaven. And after that, they wait. And the angels who are guarding the first heaven, they say, who is it? And they say, we have brought the soul of so and so. Meaning they will mention the name of the person and they will mention his father's name. And the angels, they will say, oh yes, we know who this person is. Because whenever he did good things, all his good actions would pass from here. They will open the doors of the first heaven. They will walk through the first heaven to the second. Exactly the same thing. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth and seventh heaven. As soon as they reach the seventh heaven, they will hear a voice. Take him back and bury him. And take him back and put him inside the grave. Bury him inside the grave. مِنْهَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ وَفِيهَا نُعِيدُكُمْ وَمِنْهَا تَارَةً أُخْرَى. Because we created him from the soil. We are going to raise him from the soil, and on the day of judgment we are going to raise him from there as well. So that person's soul, with them 70,000 angels, that soul will be put back into the grave. And then the angel Munkar and Nakir, the 2 angels who will be asking the question, they will come into his grave. And these angels, my dear Islamic brothers, these angels will not be angels. They will not knock on your door and they will not say, can we come in? He says that they will come, they will be tearing the earth. And they will come inside the grave, and their hair will be as long and touching their feet. There will be fire and smoke coming out from their eyes and their nostrils. They will have large teeth, and they will start coming to your grave. And then they will say in a terrifying voice, and it says that if the voice, that voice which the person listens when he is buried inside the grave, if those people who are alive in this world, if they were to hear that voice, they would die. Guys, how terrifying. We can't imagine now. Now imagine how terrifying that voice will be. And that voice will say, sit up. The dead person will be so scared. He has his relatives out there, his mother, his father, his friends. No one is there, he will be alone. He will sit up. And the angels, they will say to him, Man Rabbuka? Who is your Rabb? And if that person is going to be a good person, he's going to say, Allahu Rabbi. My Rabb is Allah. They were going to ask him the second question, Ma dinuka? What was your religion? And he's going to say, Dini al-Islam. My religion was Islam. And then the Prophet ﷺ's beautiful face of the Prophet ﷺ is going to be inside the grave. And the angels, they will point towards him. Ma kunta taqulu fi haqqi hadha rajul. What did you used to say about this person? And the person, he will say, Huwa Muhammad Rasulullah ﷺ. He is the Prophet of Allah. And then he will hear a voice. My servant has said the truth. Leave him and make his grave a garden of paradise. And then a window from paradise will open and then close. And then a window from the fire of hell will open and then close. And the angels, they will say to him that that window which opened from the gardens of paradise is what you deserve. And if you had not passed your exam, then the second window which was open, the window from the door of hell, that would have been your destination. And then what will happen? A beautiful looking person will be inside his grave. And that person, he will say, don't worry, sleep until the day of judgment. I am here to take care of you. And he will say, who are you? And he's going to say, I am your good actions. I am your good deeds.